Hello and welcome to another episode of GreenZone, Ireland's favourite American football podcast. Oh, I am hearing myself twice in my head right now, and that is extremely upsetting.
I can't hear you
I-
twice.
oh, that is awful. That is truly awful. I'm just going to put this here.
How can that
Uh,
just happen, though? You were just
uh,
talking.
I have no idea. It has just happened. It's awful. This is all going to shit. Oh, that's why. Right. Okay, that's fixed. I had YouTube open in the background.
So you're one of the three viewers.
I'm one of the three viewers. Yes, Dave.
Yeah.
Need to keep an eye on those comments. So let's go back. Hello, welcome to GreenZone, Ireland's favorite American football podcast. I am your host, Chris. I'm joined as always by Dave and Owen, and our special guests this week are Joe from the South Dublin Panthers and Rob from the Laois Labs. Welcome, everybody.
Hi guys, thanks for having us.
I love that I'm joined as always by you now, not just a guest.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're just
I
part
hear
of the
that
party.
often. Like, fair enough.
As always, guys, if you're new here, subscribe. If you're a recurring viewer, one of the 83% of people who watch our stuff and don't subscribe to us, please subscribe to us.
83%.
83%.
Nice.
Oh, the metric makes me sad. The metrics make me sad. So yes, flag's over. Flag finals. I don't know if people paid attention to our channel, but we streamed the whole thing, and over 1,300 people decided it'd be a great idea to come watch Irish flag football, which was pretty insane. I just kind of want to make a note on that. I appreciate in the build up to this, we were kind of like, it's going to be on the AFI YouTube. Everything's going to be brilliant. We're going to be doing this, that, and the other. And then it showed up in ours. Unfortunately, due to, I think it was maintenance on the main pitch at Sport Campus, they couldn't actually record, and the camera stuff wouldn't work. So we were able to hodgepodge a solution. So no, the AFI doesn't love GreenZone. GreenZone are just all around good guys and help people out.
I'm almost waiting for you to have some, the way you have your breaking news slider to come over with GreenZone hailed as heroes for saving Stu, or something, while you try to be so modest, even though you control that as well.
Local celebrity Chris McGee saves amateur
station
sports final
in the final
Like
hours.
football's real champions.
Yeah. But no,
In fairness-
go ahead on.
In fairness, like the shout out has to go to Ben Rulligan, the flag director, and Ruben from the Wolves, because they did
Invited us down.
probably 80% of the work to get that thing up and running. Like between setting up the VO camera that we used to stream, and Ruben had his laptop and his iPad and everything, and he was writing down what was going on in the game that we were in the middle of missing. They did so much work to get that up and running, and all we missed was one half of football, so not too bad at all.
Yeah, there was a lot of frantic running around during warm-ups.
Yeah, I think I passed you a few times.
A lot of lads just looking gaunt.
Yeah, but we had just come off the motorway at Blanchardstown, and Owen rings me. Now, I've never had a phone call from Owen in my entire life. Man doesn't continue to get my calls, and it was just, Chris, it's all gone to shit. Nothing's happening, nothing's working, everything's shit. And I was like, do you want to just come inside and help?
And then you were like, yeah, we're just around the corner, and you took like another 20 minutes before you showed up.
Oh, we were
parked?
just laughing in the car, being like, what shit show are we going into here?
Yeah. We were there. We were just discussing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But also, before we move on from congratulations to people to set up, Owen Connolly should also give himself a little pat on the back for commentating with Ruben all day, putting on a great show on the worst audio in the world, that's no fault of your own, working off a MacBook microphone. stunning stuff. I was sitting there listening to you for 7 hours of uninterrupted flag football and really was enthralled in a freezing cold but spectacular complex. Fair play to you. It was really. I was rattled, and I wasn't doing that much. I was running up and down that touchline to get scores. From
to get me scores.
That was the height of it. But for you to keep as concentrated with Ruben and stay so enthusiastic through the whole day was awesome. So give yourself a little pat on the back. We welcome congratulations to Laois Labs and Panthers at some stage.
No. This is all about us. This is all about us. Without us, none of this would happen.
They're here to congratulate us. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning that because we had to take the stream from the VO and commentate on that, we were like a minute behind everything that was happening and could see what was happening. So everything, like, sorry to spoil the illusion, but we knew what was going on before it happened and then had to keep quiet about it. So like there was some unreal plays, like the one that like sticks out in my mind is Max Dimitrov of the Trojans sealed the game against the Eagles with this like unreal, like one-handed grab, like properly reached out for it. And we saw that happen, had the perfect angle for it, and me and Ruben are there like shaking each other and like oh my god, but had to do it quietly so that nobody on the stream knew because we were still like 3 or 4 plays behind. So yeah, it was a really stressful thing to commentate on, but
the fact that you were able to hold your shit together as the Panthers had at this stage already won.
Yeah.
But everything's like a minute and a half behind. Tears are streaming out of your eyes.
And here come the Panthers for their final play. I mean, the next play.
We were still on third overtime when the Panthers won. So I had to go like quietly like celebrate and then had to sit down and go, oh, and the Raptors have tied the game. We're going to fourth overtime. And like act as if I didn't know we'd already won. Like it was so stressful. But can't imagine it was as stressful as playing in that game, to be fair though. Like holy shit.
No, it was much harder for us.
Yeah.
I gotta rename this episode the media appreciation.
Yeah.
You got your graphics.
Yes. Yeah, like I mean, I know we didn't intend on going down and doing anything at it other than, I don't know, be there. But actually running an event like that, I have a lot of like respect for the ones that like did the Shamrock Bowl and other stuff before that. Because see, like running, you've got your live stream running, you've got, you have to grab people for interviews, you're talking to photographers, you're getting stuff sorted. So like the AFI has content to post and get sent back, and you're like just running around like a headless chicken, being like, can people do everything, please?
Yeah, and like I'm sending Dave the whole time over to get the scores from pitch 2 because people are like commenting in the chat going, oh, what's the score over there? What's the score over there?
Aviation Master, if you're watching.
Yeah. And I don't know if we're going to go through all the games from that day, but the pitch 2, it was such a shame the VO wasn't on pitch 2 for most of the other games because they were all great because they were all expected to be blowouts, and it didn't happen. I think once. I think they were all 1-2 score games or a big shock in the other way. So yeah, going and watching those games was great, but not having something set up for someone to watch them is unfortunate. But what a day!
And speaking of the games, boom, graphics.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the show.
Yep, that's us.
Meet them and move
I've
on.
been Chris. He's been Dave. So we started the day with wildcard rounds. I suppose the Rebels Razorbacks thing, everyone kind of thought it was going to go this way. I think predictions wise, we all kind of went Rebels on that. as I said, going in, like fair fucks to the Hogs for what they've been able to achieve on both disciplines this season. You know, they can only come back stronger next season. But the Rebels, like, really, really convincing win. Me with my multitude of flag knowledge. I thought they played incredibly well against them.
Yeah, they played some really nice, like 2 QB kind of football, which you don't see too often at the moment in the domestic league, but you would see it like internationally. We saw it a lot in the European Championships. I can't remember the second quarterback's name because there were so many names on so many lists that day. But Sam Doran, I think, was the main one, and between the two of them, like they were tear up the Razorbacks defense. But like again, yeah, the Razorbacks were like incredible to like just get there in the first place in their first season. After like total rebuild in the kidded department as well, it's nice to see them kind of be able to show up and compete, because it wasn't a complete blowout. Like they were in it at a few different stages. The Rebels just kind of got away at the end. So no, it was a good game. It's a shame that the stream missed half of it.
Yeah, first half was incredible. You should have seen it. Rob and Joe, you guys sort of sitting at the sidelines. Actually, well, yeah, you guys were at the sidelines during that.
Yeah.
I mean, were you kind of taking notes at that point, or were you guys more focused in just getting your game day sorted?
Yeah, so we were definitely peering across. We were kind of looking past the Rebels Razorbacks game at the other game. We were playing the winner of the other game, you see. So
Yeah.
we were kept on the far side. We couldn't watch it very well, but we were trying our best. If we had binoculars, we would have been looking through them. And now it ended up, I would say, being an upset, at least by the records. I don't know much about Cowboys 2, but we were expecting Cowboys 2 to come out of that. But the Outlaws prevailed, as they always seem to play better than you think they will. I don't know how. Like, we played them 3 times this year, and 3 times they somehow manage to burn you deep when you never think they will. Or at the last second, they'll pull something out on 4th and 20.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I could have seen it more.
This was the game that I went over to Owen while he was commentating on the Rebels and Razorbacks, because I think the Outlaws game finished first. And I went, it's 25-20, because I had a whisper, because obviously he was commentating. It's 25-20 to the Outlaws. Is that a bit of an upset? And he pulled his mic down and he goes, you will not see a bigger upset today as the biggest upset today. Go put up a post, go do something, you'll never see it. And then he goes back into commentating. I was like, oh my God, this is a big story.
Breaking news.
I thought you were joking.
For the record, I'm the only guy that backed the Outlaws.
You are, because of their yes.
Well, the funny thing, they came up to me after the game being like, with bottles of Buckfast, do you want to go and get drunk?
But they had games to play. So.
It doesn't matter. Those boys are having a good time.
Oh, sure. I read you out the thing. I made the post there just before the playoffs with like a comment from a coach from each team. And like the Outlaws one was like they literally just said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna show up. We hope. I mean, we'll probably be late. We're gonna be drunk, and we're just hoping to show off our hairy arms and legs a bit. Like
they are the spirit of the game.
Again, they're real outlaws. That's what they are. From the hip.
Yeah, they're literally Outlaws.
It was the Outlaws versus the Cowboys. The Big Iron Bowl, we were calling it. Shootout.
They are like this is the first season. Like I haven't played them. Like I think I would have played them every season bar this season, and they're just a good group of lads. And you know what I mean? They're just good players, good crack to be around as well, like the Outlaws.
Yeah, I mean it was shocking. I could see sort of Joe's face, Joe Buchanan, not Panthers yet. His face is like he's just watching, like just didn't make sense to him. I remember coming up after and being like, "Oh, do you want to do a post-match interview?" And he was like, "That is the last thing in the world I want to do."
Yeah,
but moving on. Oh, go ahead.
Those two games, you can move on if you want, but I was just going to say those two games, I was like, oh, this is fun. This is going to be a fun day. It ended up being a long day, but I was like, I'm in for the entertainment because oh my god, the Cowboys 2 game and the Outlaws game was unbelievable. They had a couple more. Well, definitely one more great game here anyway.
Yeah,
when Owen said about you won't see a bigger upset, I would argue that the Trojans Eagles game was as big an upset.
I don't know if I'd say as big, but definitely a big upset.
Yeah, because you've got the Eagles, who are a fanatically dedicated flag team. You know, traveling across Europe, playing all these big tournaments and stuff like that. And the Trojans, while yes, an extremely serious team when it comes to kitted, flag isn't a massive priority. It's still a priority, but not a massive priority for them. But to be able to pull off, you know, a more than one score victory in a nearly 70-point game, that's good football.
Yeah, I don't know what Joe thinks about it, but again, complete novice to flag. But after seeing the result that the Trojans pulled out against the Eagles, would you have been surprised by the scoreline you put up against? Spoiler alert, if you hadn't already seen the scores, tough luck. It was 2 weeks ago. You know the Panthers won. We've probably said it like 3 times. But like, were you surprised then by how much you beat the Trojans by after seeing that scoreline?
Yeah, 100%. Like to be honest, I think like we played like I think a fair assumption was that like the Southern Division was like just this season was kind of more stacked with better teams, I suppose, in the Northern Division in particular. Just with the way the season fell, and having played the Eagles, and the Eagles they're tricky. You know, they're not an easy team at all. And we'll always prep for both. Don't get me wrong, and we did prep for both, but we did see the Eagles coming out on top. So we had rocked up. I think I rocked up at the start of this game, and then kind of figured out what was happening, what the scoreline was, and I all of a sudden had to learn a whole new defense and how to attack it. You know, it was totally different and not what I expected at all. And I again, considering when we played them, like I did expect. It's going to sound so harsh, but more of a challenge because of again the scoreline we're seeing here. We did expect a lot more of a challenge against the Trojans. You know what I mean? So it was borderline nerve-wracking going in. Again, a team we hadn't faced before, we didn't know what was going to happen, and then this scoreline just kind of added to it all.
Yeah, well, I think it could be a matter of just everything clicked against the Eagles. You know, everyone's had those games where it's just you can do no wrong. Every touch is perfect.
And it gives you a good boost as well. I mean, again, like you said, the Eagles travel. Like the Eagles are a good team, and to beat like a good team, you know, it's just going to add as we go down the line. Like,
and that's the first time in Trojans history that they have won a playoff game in flag. They've never before won a playoff game in flag.
Shut up, Owen. Shut up, Owen. Don't correct him.
No, they must have.
No. I got that. I got that straight from the Trojans. From the Trojans.
I was waiting for Owen to be like, nope, that's wrong. In
1997, a different team
beat the Monaghan Maulers. Yeah.
And then we had.
Just, like,
oh, go ahead.
They didn't like just beat like any team. Like the Eagles are like 2-time Emerald Bowl champions. Like, and it's 2019. I think was the last time the Eagles won it, which is a few years ago. But like the player base is mostly the same. Like it's a very impressive thing. Like I was kind of disappointed then by the semi-final because they put up such a good fight, and again, already mentioned it, that catch to seal the game by Max Dimitrov, still one of the most insane catches I've ever seen in flag football. And then just to not be able to really put up much of a fight against the Panthers, it was kind of a bit disappointing, especially from a commentary perspective, because obviously you want to say loads of nice things about both teams, but It's kind
Whoa,
of
whoa,
hard.
whoa.
I always
Owen
think
Connolly say nice things about teams that are the
Wearing his
Panthers.
Panthers half zip or whatever. Yeah. No, don't do that any further
no
now.
idea what about that. No, like obviously I wanted the Panthers to win, but like I still liked the guys up at the Trojans. Like
I
I
thought
wanted
you
a
were
good
very
game of football.
unbiased. You were very unbiased
I
throughout
thought I
the
did my
entirety of it.
best.
So moving to pitch 2, we saw the Raptors completely and shockingly decimate the Vipers.
I don't know if I would say I was shocked.
Yeah, me neither.
I would have been shocked because I heard that the Vipers flag team is quite good and they possibly are quite good, but that Raptors team is absolutely insane. They are so good. And it's such a small group of players. But there's that guy, Basquill. Is that it?
Jack,
Number
yeah,
16?
Jack Pascal.
Jack Pascal. Awesome, both sides of the ball, and their quarterback that I can't remember their name, even though they have the names on the back.
Todd Zoban.
Yeah. Oh my word.
I
Left-handed
had
quarterback. Could shoot
I had
it.
Dave convinced that they were fake names on the back of their jerseys. Because they have like a lot of like European or not European, sorry, Central European names on the backs of their jerseys, and I was like, Dave, like they're just fake names.
The
And he was
Basquill
so
did throw me
convinced.
off. They did throw me off a little bit, but I was like, why would they have these names? They don't make any sense. Like they're not funny in any way. They're just European. But yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're a quality team. 100%.
In that game as well, there was a Vipers player went down injured. I didn't actually end up hearing what happened to him, but I hope he's okay because he was down for
It
quite
was
a while.
his ankle,
No.
I think.
His ankle.
Was what I last heard. I heard it was an ankle. Now it's either an ankle or a knee, but I remember there being a massive over-exaggeration from someone on the sidelines, and I can't remember if it was Owen or Chrissy. Someone, because they saw like a medical person sprint over, and they were like, "Oh my god, what happened? What happened?" I think he literally just like went over on his ankle or something.
He went down and he was lying down, and then there were loads of people just screaming, "Medic, medic, medic!" So we were kind of sitting there going, "Oh shit, something serious must be happening."
Yeah,
arguably
Call of Duty flashback.
One of the best moments of Owen's commentary for the day is just him casually being like, "Oh yeah, there's a guy who's dead over there."
Oh, when?
Yeah, it was so nonchalant, just like someone saying like, "Oh, there's a dog over there." But then, oh yeah, that guy's dead. You heartless motherfucker.
I sincerely apologize if I did actually say that. That's bad. It was like nearly 8 hours of like.
And you weren't even at it an hour at this stage.
Yeah, no, but I was bound to say something somewhere along the way that someone was going to be a little bit upset about. So if that's it, I'll take it.
So into the semifinals, which I would say is another upset, but that could just be me with the helmet head on. That you had a complete clinic from the North Down Dragons against a very irate Rebels team.
I don't know if I'd call it a complete clinic. I think they had a lot more in the tank. They didn't really play at their best in that game. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, it was a really, really close game for a lot of the game, and then the Rebels player Dave King went down, and that kind of completely changed the game because he was a huge piece of their offense and defense. So, like, I think the Dragons might still have come out on top had he not gone down, but like it would have been like a couple of points in the difference rather than like whatever that is, 21 points.
You see, I would kind of tend to disagree because you had, if the score between the Razorbacks and the Rebels was, say, a lot closer from the Razorbacks, you could argue that, but the Rebels put up an extremely good score against the Razorbacks, and the Dragons had also, put up reasonable scores against them, you would have assumed these two teams were far, far better matched.
I think
they were that
this-
well matched.
Yeah, I think this game was like 14-6, and then the Dragons got 2 touchdowns really quick. I think they got a pick 6 and an offensive touchdown.
2 of them.
And I think that sealed it. It was really quick fire. And then obviously Dave King went down injured as well. But yeah, from a kitted standpoint, looking at the Rebels with 6 points is so jarring rather than 58-0 or something that they normally win in kitted. But in flag, like it's a different ball game. But it's not like the Rebels flag team was poor. Like we had North Down Dragons on before the finals, and they were saying like this is their first year, much like Laois and much like the Razorbacks. It was their first year in flag. So to see a team like Dublin who have experienced players at kitted, like schemes and things like that, for a couple of guys and gals from Cumber, Newton who are like, we like American football, we're going to start this, and to pull out that result. I know their quarterback is very experienced. Didn't he play in like Edinburgh or something? Is that what they were saying? And you could sort of tell
they had 3 players on the squad who had played flag football before this season.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
12 rookies on that team. And even though it was a closer game than that scoreline suggests, to be able to put up a scoreline like that against the Rebels, who are an experienced team, even though like they don't care as much about flag as they would about like kitted, obviously, but like to put up that kind of scoreline against an experienced team like that is unbelievable.
In their first year. And perhaps a little bit more nail-bitey, squeaky bum time on the other pitch was the Sweet Good Boys and the Cork Drinking Society.
Yeah.
It was how'd you feel after that one, bud?
I was a bit shaky in the legs, to be honest. I mean, look, there's not much air in that place, and I was playing both ways, so I was pretty gassed. They really took us to the end. They did, as they did the other times as well. I don't know. You're talking about innovative two QB plays. I don't know if they draw them up in the pub, but they always have 3 or 4 like new crazy plays that they just pull out. They love I blitz as well, and they love moving me off my spot and swapping stuff around. And I mean, we kind of dug ourselves into a hole. I mean, they were leading for I would say most of the game, to be honest. It was only really I'd say within the last minute or something, we took a lead for the first time since early in the first half. So yeah, it was a tough game, very tough game.
Yeah, because like playoff football is always completely different to regular season. Being your first year, were you guys going in the finals being like, right, you know what, we're going all the way, we're lifting it, or were we kind of like, we've nothing to prove here. This is our first year. We're happy just to take the experience as it comes.
No, I'd say we were definitely going in saying we want to win. We should win. I mean, again, we're in a very different situation from the Dragons, where we're both new teams, but everyone on our team has played football. So we were we're cheating. We took a load of lads. We were a load of lads that were playing for the Crusaders and the Eagles who were commuting from Portlaoise, and decided we make our own team. So really, we took a starting 5 that were all starters on a Premier Division team. So we did feel like we were able to do it, that we should do it. And to be honest, we were disappointed with how we came out in that game. We came out kind of flat. I don't know, maybe the moment was a bit too big for us. It took us a while to kind of get our rhythm going. Just kind of, lunging at flags on defense, the usual kind of stuff that you get. But yeah, I mean, we were going into it saying we should win. Absolutely, we should win. We felt like we had 1 loss in the regular season, and even that we felt like we shouldn't have had. We consistently felt like we should be winning all of our games.
And as well, probably Rob, you're probably saying as well that like in flag, if the team has 1 game before you, they are ready. They're already like warmed up, ready to go. Yeah. So you're starting a lot colder than that other team as well. Like
I think it is a disadvantage, to be honest, because I agree. 3 games in 1 day is not that hard. Like it's not that hard on your body. Whereas coming in cold versus a team that's just come off a, as you said, the biggest upset of the day, and full of energy, and full of points.
I was going to save this question for when the scoreline comes up for the Panthers Trojans game, but when you were saying there, Joe, that you could watch the Trojans and see what they were doing on defense, though, did you find that was an advantage rather than playing?
To an extent. I mean, the thing was that the Trojans had basically one defense, so it was very easy. Like after 2 or 3 drives of watching them, I knew what they were about. So if different teams or if a team has like multiple different defensive formations or whatever, that's so much harder to dissect. But watching them is good, don't get me wrong, but having them warmed up in a game ready, already in, they've already worked through their mistakes, and they're coming at you 100%. I would almost prefer to play that extra game than watch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we move on from the Laois Labs Outlaws game, I have to give a shout out, and it's going to be the worst shout out in the world because I don't know the guy's name, but I know he looks exactly like the conspiracy theorist from Stranger Things. He was a wide receiver, or he was a receiver for the Outlaws, and he was absolutely unbelievable. I don't know if any of you watched Stranger Things, but oh my God, what's his name?
The guy from Stranger Things?
Well, either or. I can't even get the guy from Stranger Things.
Monty or something, yeah?
No, he looks exactly like him if you can get a picture of him, and then you might be able to know who I'm talking about. But every time I turned around, I could see this guy catching a pass from 20 yards down pitch. I think
Murray Bowman.
Murray from Stranger Things. And he caught, I think, a couple of touchdowns against the Labs. And they were both insane. Just to give a little shout out to him, because for me personally, because they were the underdogs, or seemingly the underdogs, he was one I was looking at like, what the... Oh, we can swear in this. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? This guy
Dave, this is your show.
Insane. I know, but I was going to say what the flip, just to keep it somewhat mundane, or like somewhat whatever. But I'm assuming someone swore already, so I'm going to swear too. So to give a shout out to that guy, if someone knows his name, he deserves the respect of a shout out because he was awesome.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm looking up
version
this
was
guy
Murray.
now. I know who you're talking about.
Did you look up Murray Bowman and went, yeah, I know him?
Murray Bowman, Stranger Things, and I know exactly who you're talking about. Don't worry, he's played this many times this year.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Who was the Outlaws player who was going around in the t-shirt that says "I love hot moms"?
Cowboys player, I think.
I think it was Cowboys. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
I think it was Baby Totten from the Cowboys.
Flag Boys built different.
He plays Kenneth as well.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Cowboys built different. But switching on. So Raptors and Cowboys. Like,
wow.
The fucking Panthers. I appreciate the whole fucking bad blood with Trinity Gate. I get it. You felt cheated. But did you really have to go out and fucking throw 48 points against my boys?
So it kind of got to a point where I think we were like at the 35-ish mark, and we were just like, okay, we got to start prepping for the next game. So then it's kind of like that situation where if we practice and rep plays now against the defense, because again, we were fairly confident that we'd be playing the Raptors, and the Raptors play man coverage basically just like the Trojans did. So we were like, okay, let's rep these plays now and get practice against the man coverage. Because again, like Trojans, from what I can see, Trojans and Raptors are the only two teams that play man in this league, in our division anyway. So we were like, okay, let's get reps, because we don't get game reps against man coverage much. So we were like, okay, let's just rep that out. So that's why we kept going, as the scoreline does suggest, that we kept going, but it was just basically to get the reps in against man coverage, because we knew we'd potentially probably be facing the Raptors in the final.
What defensive scheme do you find the most difficult, Joe?
What do we find the most difficult? To be honest, like a
taking
good
notes
man
here.
is potentially hard to beat.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It is potentially hard to beat. Like we all know, like we all play football in some regard. Crossing routes can destroy man coverage. You know, like it is easier to beat. But the Raptors, like they are just a whole different kettle of fish. Like it's so hard to put them off their spots. If I was like for other teams, the hardest defense we face is in training. Like our defense is quality, and I still struggle to take that apart in training. I'm throwing picks, I'm making bad reads because our defense is so hard to go against, which obviously works to us as training standpoint. But to date, the hardest defense domestically I've ever faced is this year's Raptors defense, hands down.
Which is why the Cowboys, who are like an exceptionally good flag squad,
Yeah,
like you would have been okay if it was a 1-score game.
Yeah.
But to see something like that was absolutely insane. I mean, Owen, you covered it far more detailed than a gobshite like myself would have. Like, what happened here?
I mean,
If you say the Raptors win and stop talking, I'm going to drive down, kill Cop, and beat you up.
yeah, the Raptors did win. I mean, I couldn't really see it because I was commentating on the Panthers Trojans game, but like
Fair enough.
I was gonna say you've mixed up these games. I know you.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so tired.
it's almost criminal that like we were the team on that pitch and not the Raptors Cowboys.
Yeah.
Criminal.
Yeah.
Pitch 2 was where it was at.
Yeah.
She had
But
a
even
super
still, like it wasn't a great game over there either. Like it's still 30 something points. So
Wait,
Or,
did
sorry.
you say 30?
yeah. Look, I'm tired too.
My God.
We are supposed to be the voice of flag football.
16
and you can't even get enthused
16.
on.
16 points. I don't know how I managed to get that to 30. But, yeah, okay.
Rob,
I think from the looks of it, I was sort of sat watching this to get score updates and stuff, and that game felt like a shootout, long range touchdowns, and the Raptors had a bit more of a hold of it. They had a bit more of I think they took a fairly big early lead, so the Cowboys had to be like, right, okay, we need to come out and start throwing. And I think it was actually kind of similar to the Panthers Trojans game, except it was a far different result, obviously. I think the Panthers got 2 touchdowns in like 2 plays. Am I right in that? Or it was very close to that?
Yeah, even
First
4
2.
plays, I'd say. 2 touchdowns in the space of 4 plays, like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Trojans, if they had any sort of game plan, went, no, okay, Dom, throw it long. Because every time you looked up, it was Dom throwing this beautiful spiral that someone couldn't catch because the Panthers had a very well set up defense for it. But I think it was something similar, but the Cowboys were able to, execute some of the longer range passing to keep themselves in the game, but Raptors were just too good overall and just kept stretching the lead on them, I think was the big thing.
Rob, as you kind of sat watching these games, prepping for your final, I appreciate you have some experience in being a Premiership. How do you think the Labs would have faced up in these Premier Division semis?
That's a tough one. So, like, to be honest, I wasn't watching much of the games. I was peeking over my shoulder during warm-ups. But don't worry, we've thought plenty. And since then, I've been thinking, obviously, because now we're going up, about what it's going to be like. And look, it's going to be very tough. I mean, I think Joe put it perfectly that Premier Division South is a bit of a nightmare right now. So, we're going to be like battling to get a 3rd seed if we can. I don't know, battling against our old Eagles, probably. But yeah, I mean, you never know when you're in there. It's hard to say, but like I feel like we can compete. I don't want to get ahead of myself too much, the new kids on the block. But
be bold. Just be bold.
We like to get there and play ball, so we're gonna enjoy it next year. Don't worry. Try and squeeze
just
by
one for one.
Yeah, look, so far, yeah. That's it. I'll guarantee you Emerald Bowl next year. There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
Love your drama.
I'll see you there, Rob.
And we
can't wait to take this up.
Yeah, this,
I'm
somebody
throwing
clip
on
it.
the Panthers
40
TikTok
minutes and 30
manager.
seconds. Clip it. So after that, we went on to the Glass Bowl final. Two, I say rookie teams. Appreciate that the Labs aren't rookies. The Dragons are the official rookie team of this year.
Yeah, they deserve that.
But this was a phenomenal game. I mean, we had everything. We had history being made, as Owen corrected me incorrectly and needed to be corrected on.
Corrected, incorrected, corrected, and then just added on a bit more at the end as well. Like it was,
Yeah.
it was a mess.
I mean, but before we kind of go into the bowl itself, there has been a big push from the league to encourage more women to get involved in the sport, and that is primarily through flag football, which is a lot more accessible than kitted. And to have female athletes competing, and not just there to keep up numbers, as properly competing, and putting scores up at a Division 1 final. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Like the Dragons, I think they sent me facts beforehand, so that my commentary job would be a little bit easier. And I think they were the only team in the league that could claim they had a woman on the field for every single play. Like no other the Panthers have been great. Like we've got a women's flag team coming now, so obviously that'll have that. But we had we have plenty of women on our team, but we still can't. Like they weren't as much of a core part of the team as they were for the Dragons. Like the Dragons relied on those players entirely. Not entirely, but constantly. Like Sarah Eady had I don't know how many catches in that final. She was unbelievable. Sam Black was blitzing on almost every play. The female Sam Black. There was also a male Sam Black who was making the same plays as well. And getting pass interfered with and not called a few times, which he was quite upset about. But yeah, no, they were so good, and I'll get in trouble with Sam now if I don't say hashtag girl power along with that. She told me I wasn't allowed to read out her facts without using the hashtags she put with them. So yeah, hashtag girl power for that. But yes, our fact.
I remember watching this and seeing the two of them play. Like you said, they deserved every second to be there. Like, you know what I mean? They'd be like, they are proper ballers. Like, but better than a lot of other people in this league. Like you can see how they are starters.
Yeah, they're not. There's no kind of oh, they're there because
no tokenism.
No tokenism. Exactly.
No.
They earned that right to play and to score in the bowl. Not once, but twice. Sarah Eady scored.
First ever female athlete to do so in this league.
Yeah, as we said, we weren't certain if she was the first female to score a touchdown in the bowl, but she was definitely the first to do it twice. So, yeah, unbelievable game from them. Unfortunately, didn't get the win, and I say unfortunately. I wouldn't normally be biased, but Sam, the two Sams arrived at the game with a bribe bag filled with Pringles and Pepsi Max. So I am 100% a Dragons Ultra from now on. I hope they go on and win everything.
We took you to KFC, Owen.
You didn't pay for it though. I paid for my KFC.
You should have.
But you were allowed to go with the team.
Also, you took the vegetarian to KFC.
Look,
and you chose
I'll
to
bring that up at our AGM. Better bribes next year.
Better bribes next year. No worries.
Yes, bribe the podcast people.
And in the Lab's defense as well, it's McDonald's fault for burning down a week before that game.
Yeah, the Newbridge McDonald's.
Why they had to go KFC.
Right next to the KFC. Was
Yeah,
there
the two of them
foul play?
next to
We
each
don't
other.
know.
So anyway, Rob,
The
Rob,
two northern guys look in confusion.
as the man on the pitch during this, talk us through the sweet good boys dogs trust side of the Glass Bowl.
I mean, yeah. Look, I went through the first game. The first game was very gritty and tough, and we really had to kind of empty the tanks. And obviously, we won that game. And then at that point, we kind of just talked amongst ourselves, and we were like, "Look, we're kind of in our heads there. We've secured promotion now. We're just playing here for fun, and for pride. So let's just go out, have fun, play ball." I think we played a lot better with that mindset, as opposed to kind of worrying too much about it. So I think the whole thing, it was much more enjoyable than the semi was. No one was beating themselves up. We were all just kind of working as we normally would. Which again, look, maybe that's new team, something we just had to figure out as a new team, But yeah, I mean, look, the Dragons were a really good side. They were really, really athletic. I think anyone that watched them, they had so many athletes all over the field. They were flying around very, very fast. And I think at the end of the day, it was actually the experience that probably gave us the win in the end, that we just kind of knew what we were doing a little bit more. We had a bit more stuff schemed up from, whatever clips we could pull off of Instagram or whatever. And from our semi-final finishing about 3 minutes before their semi-final and running over to watch it. But yeah, look, they were a really great team. And to be honest, they were actually really sound lads as well. Even before our final, they came over and talked to us, and they're lovely guys. So
yeah, and we everyone here has won a bowl. Owen,
I'm the Panthers director of communications, if that counts.
Yeah, but I mean, as a player, and like,
does ours count?
Technically, it does count, Dave. Tell you, it was a bowl, it was a division, it was a thing. But yeah, it's moments like that in the sport that you do live for. Like, and I appreciate this is a bit of a hobby for everyone. It's a pastime. But see, when it comes to bowl day, shit gets real. Shit gets so fucking real.
Yeah.
And there's no sweeter taste than that medal, which, by the way, need to have a conversation with the league as to why the flag medals are 1,000 times better than the kitted medals.
They are the best set of medals I've ever seen in my life. They are
quality. They're unreal.
You can tell we have a very small team because we have all these extra medals. So they engraved a load of medals and just gave us the rest of them. So
Dave, have you your D2 medal there?
We've been giving away ones to fans, of our supporters for the year. But they are
it's engraved.
I was a Dragons fan, should I?
It's gorgeous, like, in fairness. They are, and they're real heavy and nice. But the engraving on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our fucking ones from a couple of years ago were like sports day medals.
Yeah, mine's already scratched to shit, and I don't look at it very often.
It's still in a presentation case with like my Steelers game ball.
All right, I was going to say, what? You got a presentation case for your medal, but
yeah.
you bought one. Like you didn't get one, you bought one.
What do you mean bought one?
You bought one. There was no way Aidan was handing out little presentation cases.
Oh, sorry, yeah. And by presentation thing, I mean like a glass-fronted cabinet I have in my living room.
Yeah, dumb it down.
Yeah. It's like just like this side of the camera, there's just like a fucking wall of like.
You have a mannequin with wearing your kit from the day with the medal.
Yeah, kit for the day, and like my kit's like ever since I was like primary school, all my small achievements, my fucking swimming basic endeavor fucking thing.
Only swimming 2 lengths with 1 float.
Yes.
Can we just say while we were talking there earlier about Sarah Eady, Sam Black, and Chloe Eady, and all the Dragons females. I did fact check this now. I fact checked it. Hayley Fitzgibbon is the first ever female head coach to win not only a bowl but a playoff game. Full stop. So fair play to her.
Congrats to her. I mean, look, she deserves whatever accolades she gets. Look, she's been fantastic. Again, a real emotional leader for our team, I would say. She kind of keeps us all in check, I guess. Again, when as we a real leader of the team.
Also, I thought the next one up was the winner's graphic. I just thought that'd be a nice backdrop, but no.
Oh,
Screw this lovely moment.
No, in fairness, Haley has been fantastic this year. As well as all the governance stuff, and as well, importantly, on the field. She was actually playing in the bowl as well as her being I'll biasly say a star on the Wolfhounds this year in
I
Limerick.
don't think it's biased. That's fact.
Yeah, so look, we're all very proud of her.
Just out of curiosity, Rob, has the local GAA club noticed that you stole the jerseys?
No, but it was very deliberate. So if they're listening and there's a lawsuit planned, I'm going to give myself away. We did it completely on purpose. Our original plan was actually just to buy Laois GAA jerseys and just all buy them from the local shop, because look, it's lovely. Isn't it a lovely jersey?
This might be wrong, because the first time I seen your jersey, I turned to Chris. I was like, "Is there a manufacturer in Laois that do the numbers that way?" Because Laois is the only county to have. This is so stupid; it doesn't make any sense. But Laois have different numbers to every county in Ireland, and I don't know why or what's the thing behind that. So, but I saw your jerseys, and yours had similar numbers. And I was like, "Is this a Laois thing that no one knows about, bar people from Laois?"
I won't reveal any secrets. Can neither confirm nor deny.
Damn it.
Oh.
You keep your Laois number secrets to yourself.
Okay, you keep your secrets.
Oh yeah, there's Haley. That's Haley in the middle there.
I love the fact of embracing the joke.
Oh, it was there from the start. Don't worry. I mean, we didn't come into this thinking that Labradors were ferocious and then get surprised by the memes.
Yeah, because it started out at the meme page, because you announced that you guys were joining the league, then the meme page was straight in with the "What the fuck is this dog's trust thing going on?" And then the Outlaws just had that video was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, they had a field day
Sweet
with it.
Good Boys. Did that change how you, as a team, kind of branded yourself through the course of the season? Or was it always for the giggles?
No, I would say it was always there from the beginning. I mean, look, we were calling ourselves, we might not be the best. I don't know. I might have to walk back that Emerald Bowl prediction, but we are the cutest team in the league. Okay. And that is undisputed. Anyone can come at us on that. Okay. We're the cutest team in the league, as is shown by our little team picture there.
Is there a
Can I
mascot?
ask as well?
Is there a real Laois lab?
So I actually we do have a lab. She's a lab cross that, we can call her the Laois lab. We actually, she was a rescue, but we actually got her after we made the labs. But no, to be honest, we like, oh, there you go. Look, we basically all have dogs, and Haley, again, our emotional core, is actually a veterinary nurse, and so she's obsessed with dogs. Fun fact for any of the super fans out there, obsessed. And
We're
so
getting
Lord
deep
just
into
keeps
the
going.
Laois Labs lore.
I know it was we thought it out. We weren't we knew what we were doing. But look, I might see if I can get Arabella out at some point. Go looking for her. She's here somewhere.
The Laois lab.
Yeah, so next season's going to be the labs, which are sponsored by like an animal charity. So that's like 4D chess, rather than raise money for charity, get charity to raise money for you.
Us. Look, we'll take it. We're chronically underfunded.
Every
Let's give
team in the
some
sport
fair to
I go ahead, please.
taking the money of poor sick dogs.
But yeah, look, we'd bring more dogs to games if we had people to hold them on leashes. We were thinking, we'd love to bring all of our dogs, but again, it's just there's only about 7 of us that play, so we don't really have anyone to keep an eye on them.
You'll get more people down if you tell people there's flag football going on, and you get to hold the dog.
Hire a dog minder. That's what you need to get the funding for.
That could be like your cheerleaders, the people holding the Laois labs.
There's
leashes.
The leashed labs. Yeah.
The Laois labs. Oh, So many ideas, so many possibilities.
But don't worry, next year in the
Trojans.
Premier Division, we're getting unleashed. All right, unleashed on the
Oh,
Panthers.
the unleashed lads, I love it.
Can I ask as well? I probably should have put it in the graphic pack for tonight, but what was going on with the map of Ireland with the Labs logo getting bigger every time?
Oh, that's just land grabbing. Have you ever heard of land grabbing? Where lads, this is country stuff. You city lads don't know about this, but lads go down and they get the county sign and they move the county sign a little bit and expand into whatever, you know. So
I remember this fucking thing.
Our expansion as we build our empire.
Some mad bastard in fucking Louth did this before, and they tried to fucking claim back Newry for the sign.
Yeah,
I never heard of
lads
this.
do that.
He would just dig up, the fucking welcome the Northern Ireland thing.
Yeah, and don't worry, they do that at the Laois Offaly border. Don't mess. We don't mess with Offaly.
Is that why Offaly has that weird bit that sticks down? It was just been land grabbing the whole time.
Look, we'll grab that if we can. Don't worry. And when the map expanded, that was the first place we went. We took Offaly.
I love to think it's you're in the back of a veterinary office, and there's just a map of Ireland, and you're like, we'll take
Yeah,
it.
there's lines of red. There's red twine between all the stuff. We have it all planned out. Don't worry. We're coming for Dublin next year.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so after this glorious conversation, we're now leading into possibly the greatest game of flag in Irish flag history.
Yes.
I don't know if it's possibly. I think that might just be fact.
No, that was, see, if you were on the fence about the sport, this watching this game sells the sport as a whole. It had everything, two equally matched teams, a high scoring game in regular time, an overtime that had myself and Dave jumping around like excited schoolgirls.
Yep.
And had commentators in tears.
Yep.
Wait, no.
Oh
my God, that one.
It's me.
When I say Bull Day hits different, this is I said, the perfect showcase for the sport.
Yeah. Oh, there'll never be a better game to showcase the sport than this. It was unbelievable. What was the score at halftime? Was it 20-6 to the Raptors? I think.
No, I think we just scored. So we were only 8 points down, I believe. So it was 20-12.
Okay.
I think we just scored.
But yeah, it wasn't looking good at nearly halftime. It was 20-6, and I gave up on the game 3 or 4 times. There were so many separate times where I'm sitting in commentary and you can slowly hear my voice just giving up. You can just hear me going, and the Raptors have scored again. Yay. It's just getting more and more upset about how everything's going. But obviously I still wanted to do good commentary for the Raptors because they were playing unbelievably. Sorry, we have to talk to the Laois lab before.
Sorry, I'm sorry to steal your thunder.
Oh,
Here's the
Laois lab.
We have the Laois lab. Oh,
GreenZone exclusive.
Next year's Emerald Bowl, dogs versus cats.
Ooh, yeah, versus the Panthers. Oh, look.
Yeah.
I know who I bet on.
Are you meaning to say a panther could take out a lab in the? Well, okay, yes, it will.
Oh, no, she's sick of me anyway. She wants to get on the bed and go to sleep.
I think I can say,
the same sometimes.
As a commentary moment, I think that's the first time we've had an animal on the podcast.
I think so.
We've had dogs in the background, never on camera.
Yeah, well, I think my dog was in the background, but you couldn't actually see him. So
yeah.
Laois
labs breaking boundaries.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the greatest game of flag ever. Interrupted by a dog, and so it should be.
Much like in the European Championships, it was interrupted by a dog.
Yeah, I just can't help
Yes,
myself.
it
Can I?
was.
Let's keep tapping it. That was great in the European Championships when it was a boring game that I was commentating on. They just cut to these two dogs like fighting with each other. That was my favorite moment. But no, yeah, like what a game. Like Greg Johnson, very good at football, it turns out. He's probably, I think, probably the best receiver in kitted football in the country. Plays for the Rebels, if you have been living under loads of rocks. But yeah, he plays for Raptors and the Flag, and he was unbelievable in this game. Like I think it was the same play almost every time that they seemed to score a touchdown on, but he would just get open every single time. And Joe, I know you're not the defensive man, but what was going on? You were causing me heart failure in the commentary.
Yeah, and I think it was like three of that touchdowns back to back. They just ran that. Was he running a post? I think he was just running a post.
Yeah.
And I think, like, to be honest, I think that was one of the turning points for us. Was once our defense figured that out, you know, they weren't as automatic as scoring. They obviously still did score a few more, but they weren't as automatic. And I think they really started to get flustered, particularly when you're relying on something and all of a sudden it gets taken away. Yeah, that was one of the turning points for us. So yeah, that don't get me wrong. Like, as an offensive player, seeing your defense just give up long touchdowns, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah. Particularly like at the beginning, we were struggling on offense, like struggling. We really struggled to move the football. So yeah, that wasn't fun. Like, we were 13 points down at one point. I think there was a lot of times we were 13 points down. You know, they'd score, we'd score. They'd score, we'd score. But eventually, we started to close the gap anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, Joe, I mean, you were coming off such a high against the Trojans. Did the first half shock you?
Did the first half shock me? No. Again, I was very aware. Like, I've played this sport. I don't know, like, what was it, like 13 years, I think, or something like that. And that was the first and only game I've ever been nervous walking onto the pitch. I was very aware of what we were walking into. We were aware of who we were playing. And I think that's what made us start slow. We were making stupid mistakes, like false starts, like mistakes we rarely make. I was making bad it was just bad from the beginning. And yeah, that didn't help, because again, like we as Panthers, we train for as many situations as possible. We do a lot of not a lot of situations, but we do a fair amount of situational football and training. You know, 2 minutes, you're down by 6. What do you got? That kind of stuff. We all know. But I've never practiced being nervous before, and that was a whole new world to me. Like, so yeah, it wasn't a shock going down in any shape or form. We were aware of what we were getting ourselves into, because we again, making assumptions, we kind of assumed this would be the final anyway, and we were kind of lucky, as in the way the playoffs worked was that we played up in Donegal or Derry the week before. And if the Cowboys lost both of their games against us and the Raptors, which they did, we became number 1 seed. So we would have therefore played with the Trojans as opposed to the Raptors. You know, so the play ourselves and the Cowboys would have flipped had Cowboys at least won one of their games. And I genuinely think, had we faced the Raptors in the semifinals, we potentially could have lost. I'm not saying we would have. But again, just Raptors are a whole different kettle of fish that we hadn't experienced domestically in this league before. Like, as much as we prepped and as much as we were ready for them, and I'm not knocking my own team in any shape or form, I will always back us. But Raptors were just different. We knew how to attack them, and look, thank God we won. You know what I mean? And there was never a moment where I doubted our win, even when we were 13 points down. I never thought, oh, we need to do this, or, oh, we're losing. It was just a happy medium. We went in, we scored, that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, that was a unique experience for me anyway. Even after playing abroad, even playing for Ireland back in the day, it's the same. It was a different game to walk on that field.
Are you not like a 3 or 4 time Emerald Bowl champion? What do you mean you've never been nervous?
Yeah, which is, it's weird. Like, it is weird. Yeah, this would be my third Emerald Bowl. But yeah,
Or Dave and Chris.
But once we clicked, and everything started working.
For Dave and Chris who don't know, Joe played for the Dublin Vipers in Emerald Bowl 3.
I knew that.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that.
I think
No, I didn't. I didn't know that.
But Joe,
yeah, we got to the final in Emerald Bowl 1. I think we were in the final in Emerald Bowl 2. We finally won it in Emerald Bowl 3. Like, we were always there, in all fairness. And then, in all fairness, I went down in Emerald Bowl 3. I went down with my knee, and Todd, who's the QB of the Raptors, he stepped in as a starting quarterback, and he won us that Emerald Bowl.
We need to do a history of flag in this country.
we're supposed to take a break, yes. Dave. No more episodes.
No, I don't mean we do it. I don't mean we do it next week. I say we do it the week before the flag starts. We get a history of flag.
No, we've got something else the week before the flag starts.
Bar that, but that's different. That's a different medium.
You're also forgetting we haven't done the flag sexy bowl yet.
Oh, that's to come. There's plenty of
off-season we'll just take our trophy now, guys. We definitely have the best.
Yeah, listen, like we now know the impact we have on the league, like the amount that like Bantam at this stage, you owe us. Like I know of 3 teams that have contacted Bantam, being like, "Oh yeah, you make nice kits.
We want to win sexy bowl."
But overtime. Insane overtime, sudden death overtime.
Oh my god!
What was going through your head when you because it was used went first in sudden death.
Yeah.
And
so again, yeah.
Your heart must have sank when that first attempt came up with nothing.
Yeah, it didn't help. Yeah, like it's so because again, like when you're back there, quarterback kind of making the plays, making the throws, it all kind of comes down to you. So when it doesn't happen, you're like, oh, what could I have done differently? And I'm like the kind of player that would focus on the negative stuff. Like I could throw 50 touchdowns and 1 interception, and it's always the 1 interception I'm focusing on. So yeah, it sucks, particularly the amount of effort everyone puts in behind the scenes and on the scenes and training, like the amount of effort people put in, and you're like, if I had just thrown a little bit taller or a little bit higher, a little bit shorter, you're like, oh, that's rough.
What's the game? The game of inches.
It is. It really, really is. Again, like we could have, like we went 33 all and we just had scored to tie it up, and we went for an extra point. And if I had that throw back, it's a millimeter down and a millimeter to the left, and it's in the hands of our receiver, and we're up by a point.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we didn't get the first one, that was rough.
Because it was miss, score. Wasn't it? There was 4 sudden deaths, wasn't there?
It's worth explaining the overtime rules as well, because the first.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
Yeah, the first of the overtimes, you have your 4 downs from the halfway line, but then after that, it's like a penalty shootout format, sudden death penalty shootout. Like you have 1 go from, is it the 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's the 2 point.
1 point.
That's the 1 point.
Yeah, the 1 point, yeah.
Oh, but is that not the line? Oh, it's the line for 1 point, or it's a line for 2 points?
Line for 1 point.
Yeah, 2 points is from 10.
Flag and
you're so yeah, you've got they're like both teams didn't make it on like the drive thing, and like my heart kind of sank when the Panthers didn't get it, because like I was kind of sitting there going, this is kind of the exact position that the Raptors have been so good in all day. Like they've been able to hit us with that Greg Johnson post route like almost every single time they've tried from this position. So I was kind of sitting there going, this actually is it. Like we're not going to do it. And the defense played unreal.
Phenomenal.
And then, yeah, the shootout was probably the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever been through. And it was like doubled by the fact that I was watching it happen and then commentating on something that happened a minute ago. So I had to like bottle up every emotion that I was feeling, seeing what was going on, and act as if I was seeing it for the first time, like and commentating on what was going on. It was like, that's why like there were tears, because I was like, Look, we won it about 10 minutes ago, but I can't commentate on it. I was just gonna wait and not let anybody know, so it was all being held in. But yeah, there was it was an unbelievable shootout. It was the perfect way for it to end from a spectator point of view, not from a commentator who might have a stake in the game point of view. But no, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, you went through the full stages of grief over the course of that game. Like, every time you looked, like, it's a good thing we didn't have a face cam on there because you were in bits. Like the highs and lows of football.
All over the place. Like it was fairly traumatic. I think did Chrissy take a picture of me, and I don't know if it went on her page.
Oh,
or
I Instagram lived. You like at this point
you
the Panthers
Instagram
had already.
that.
Yeah, so at this point the Panthers had already won. So you had just won out in overtime. I was there with the camera on Owen, who was like watching this happen, but not being able to basically report on it.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I was there like pretty much in tears over the fact we just won the bowl, and then having to go, and Jack Basquiat finds the end zone.
But it's fucking no use.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the temptation to literally just go, Jack Basquiat is in the end zone. Oh, but he's going to lose anyway. Sorry.
I don't care. You take off the headset and go run and celebrate with the
There's a shirtless man on the field.
Oh, you couldn't go shirtless in those conditions. Baltic.
Like the place is so fucking cold.
I think that didn't help either with the old emotions, because you're like shivering there and like trying to commentate on what's going on and knowing you've already won. You just want to get up and like run and get out of here.
As a player, I'd always take the indoor. Like I know it sucks kind of not having like spectators there. Like I totally get it, but as a player, give me indoors all day. I'll definitely happily take that again. Like I don't know about you, Rob. How did you find the indoors?
We did find it surprisingly cold. None of us brought like body warmers or anything. I was expecting indoor. It's gonna be grand, shorts and a t-shirt.
Nobody listened to me on the podcast however many weeks ago when I said playoffs will be here, make sure you bring a jacket.
Yeah, but that was also the episode before Ben came on and said this is the corrections episode, because everything Owen said was bullshit.
Well, look,
the only thing you said was right was flag.
No, yeah, look, playing on the indoor is lovely. I mean, look, it's a beautiful sealed environment, you know. The footballs fly perfect. The routes are beautiful and crisp. But look, again, you know, I don't know if it would be worth it to not have spectators again next year. I think that you know, when we're trying to grow the game, you know, spectators are a big part of it. And just as well, we have supporters. You know, my parents wanted to be down there, but they could. We had a few extra coaches, we'll say, on our roster. I'm sure the Panthers did.
I think
everyone the Panthers had 12.
Yeah. I think
we only had one extra. We'd one team manager. The rest of them volunteered throughout the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they had to show up at like 9 o'clock in the morning, freeze their bollocks off before it started.
So did we.
Yeah, but they only wanted to volunteer really just so they could see the Panthers play, and they had to sit through all of the other games and like work the whole time.
So did we?
No, I'm not saying you didn't. I did not deny that. You did very little in the way of work compared to them. They were like constantly on the go.
Good you me.
Delete the stream.
Good you me. Without my ingenuity and opportunism, nobody would have saw the flag championships.
This is true. It would have been seen through the 5 people.
I was the executive producer on the day, walking around in my big shirt.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, that's a good description. But like, no, they came and they did Trojan work there, signing players in, looking after the changing rooms, like keeping people off the sidelines that shouldn't be there most of the time. Because I did see a few people who shouldn't be in player boxes at that point, but we'll say nothing.
The best part was when people would stand right beside the video cam and talk shit. but the
Everything
mic
being
on the
picked up,
video
yeah.
cam would go straight to the stream.
Yeah. They were lucky they couldn't you couldn't see their faces a few times. I could hear a few things being said, and I was like trying to talk over it. But yeah, it was the volunteers did incredible though. Like as much as they were just mostly there to see the Panthers, they did do incredible work. So shout out to all of them.
Yeah, that has to be so.
Especially
Perks.
getting the team sheets all sorted for me and Ruben to be able to commentate on. That was very handy.
Worst photo ever.
There he is.
I knew you'd love that photo.
He didn't even
but-
airbrush my stomach, like.
No,
See,
but, like,
and you missed it. That was the point where you should have went, I did.
I wouldn't do that to my quarterback. No, I had to use this photo because this is the greatest quarterback run in the history of American football Ireland.
That's very dramatic.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact. Flipped the game on its head when he made this run.
Somewhere Ty Henry's just like, the fuck?
Sorry, American football Ireland flag. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but no, it was an unbelievable run, and also it was one of the first photos that came up when I went on Greg's website. So. I finished these graphics about half an hour before we were coming on, so.
Also, for the record, Owen's been asking us to do this episode for Fortnite.
That's not true. I asked you, were we doing the episode? And you said, yeah. And then I said, okay, do I need to organize guests? And you said, yeah. And I said, okay, do I need to organize graphics? And you said, yeah.
Introducing our new executive producer.
Yeah.
It's funny. I hurt my knee in the Trojans game. So like running, I don't know how I managed to run because like as soon as I got home that evening, my knee was out to here. So I still don't know how I made that run, to be honest. Like my knee was a bit.
Oh yeah, you can
Pure
see the
raw passion.
You can see the
knee brace. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enhance.
Yeah.
Enhance. Too much. Also, can we appreciate just the Panthers drip?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty sick.
Yeah, the Panthers.
So that is the face of a focused man.
Take that zoom away from Chris.
Oh, hang on here.
I already zoomed in before when he back.
Was it Joe? Was it you that like sent me messages given out to me because I posted a graphic on the Panthers page and it had some of the
Such high quality, showing all our plays off. Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I was so pissed. It was such a good graphic too. I had to take it down and repost it. But yeah. Speaking of good graphics, I spent hours on this, and then I posted it, and the Leash Labs 2 minutes later put their fucking Paw Patrol thing up, and nobody gave a shit.
I'm sorry, like
that is the internet for you.
I'm sorry, but it is far and away superior.
Oh,
Far
it
and away
is.
superior.
Absolutely.
You're wasting your time, Owen. I spent 5 minutes on that in the car on the way home on my phone.
You see, like, you know what? I could have done like Pink Panther or something. Next season.
Then you'd only be derivative.
No, it's extremely professional. It's high quality. Everyone's kind of color matched. Everyone's lit in a very it's a fantastic bit of
that's now
graphics design.
A massive shout out to Greg because he did unbelievable photo shoot for the Panthers. So most of those photos are from that, and a few of them are from the week before. The ones that don't look quite as high quality. But
it's kind of like all the work that Chrissy did on the bowl winners graphics, and then the sexy bowl was I just screenshotted a Trojans fucking thing, scribbled it out, and where it says it was the Trojans be the Knights. It's like Belfast is green. I just scribbled out the green and wrote sexy.
Yeah, that was good. That was very good.
Like, it's all about execution, but I'm sorry, Owen. Like, no matter how good
that is better. I won't lie to you. That is better.
That is turning into the skid.
I was so proud of my graphic too, and I saw that. It's like almost as soon as I posted, I was gutted.
Look, in fairness, our one's only like that because we couldn't do whatever you managed to do all this. To be honest, I haven't a clue. We don't have any graphics department. Don't worry.
Yeah, Panthers graphics department is unbelievable. Between not even like not just myself. Like Barney helps out, Rob helps out. They're all legends, and our socials team. Say it, probably the best in the league. The Trojans won't like that, but
No, they will not.
they probably rightly don't like that. But look, I got to back my own team.
We'll do a social sexy bowl. Fine, we'll do
Let's
it.
go!
Yeah, social bowl. Right, so Dave, get a pen and paper. We need to write down the trophies we need to buy.
We need to get so many bowls.
So many trophies.
Yeah.
When's the cute bowl dropping? That's all I want to hear.
That is going to be such an awkward competition, bar your team.
No, there's other animal teams. So you've got the Panthers, the Raptors, the
Angry
Razorbacks.
animals.
Like
No cute
completely
ones.
naming the cute animals of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that cute little Razorback. Gucci, goo.
Again, we're going far away from topic.
On topic. We'll give the Labs the title of cutest team in the league as long as we get title of sexiest team in the league. Because I mean, look at us. Look at that graphic. Look at those.
Oh,
players.
sorry, we're talking flag again.
Yeah, go away with the rigged sexy bowl. With your look at us.
Owen.
Look at us. The Trojan players on the podcast have voted the Trojans to win.
We
Ignore
haven't
that
started with the Trojans, and let's not discuss the manipulation of votes by certain parties.
Hey, look, I've got an account. I can vote on my account.
Yeah, you can
all I
vote
did.
with every account that you have on your phone. I know.
Any access I've got to an account. I do. No further comments, Your Honor.
No. Hang on.
Can we zoom in to the bottom right player in that graphic?
Oh, damn.
He'd be very upset with us. What a photo!
In there?
He claims he
Oh,
was
he's
trying to do the
caught a ball,
Odell. He claims he was doing the Odell Beckham catch, and that the photo just didn't quite capture that moment. But
Well,
it
he's
just
caught it
created
very
one of the
early.
best photos of all time. So yeah, I just had
It
to
does just
make sure
look
that
like
was
he's
brought up.
See, when you zoom in on this, it takes a lot of context out of it, and he's just kind of like,
You can see
as if he's just like, your guys
Um,
clearly tried to run through him at running back, and he's just like, nah.
See, Chris, if you go up, and then a wee bit to the left, that guy nearly has it. If he was a bit more, if he was falling over more, that's closer to Odell's catch than the other one.
little graphic designer behind the scenes secret here. He wasn't at all sideways. Neither was Jamie, number 8 there. They were both like straight up, and I just rotated them to be like that.
It's like behind the scenes,
Yeah.
rotate.
And Daniel, the guy on the right, he's the guy that got us the game-sealing interception for the final.
Oh yeah, the
The guy who put his hand up.
Yeah,
the guy on the right.
Oh,
But more importantly, Rob, talk me through.
Yeah, so I have to say now, the thing is, those aren't actually the characters from Paw Patrol. They don't actually look like them. So I have to do some finagling. It's Adobe stuff. You wouldn't know the terms anyway. Don't worry. There's no Photoshop.
I
whizzes
didn't
here.
realize the labs were in Paw Patrol.
No, we are, and we
yeah.
will actually we will be attending in the cinema in Port if anyone wants to come.
Oh please!
Suits,
There you go.
suits
That's your bribe to
Dress
me
up.
for the next season. If you bring me to the Paw Patrol movie.
Yeah, but I love the commitment. Just this one, the back here.
Yeah.
Look, she's a team member as well.
Who's that one though in the background? Is that?
That can actually be Rachel Dunn, because Rachel Dunn played for us for half the year and then she left.
Oh yeah, went away.
She's in the background.
Okay, so that's
And she's
Rachel.
monopoly as well, so it's kind of
who's,
like,
who's this one?
Yeah, let's go through all the names now.
are we naming them all now? Is
Yes.
that it? Okay. You see, I actually need Haley for this. Haley actually knows who all these Paw Patrol characters are.
Why does Haley know that?
I told you she likes dogs.
But now, saying that, bottom left down there, I believe is Rubble.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe the blue is Chase.
Yes, he's on the
Chase
case.
is on the case. And the girl in the middle is Sky. I know that. She flies.
Oh yeah.
Again, I picked this up from osmosis from Haley. How much Haley likes it.
Oh,
What's
what
the,
are we
what's
doing?
the recycling?
Flag football conversations took
I
a
know.
turn.
This is the lower. Okay.
And then
Outstanding.
the fire one, was he like Marshall or something? Because fire.
Marshall.
There
Yeah.
is a fire marshal. Yeah. He's on.
There we go.
Outstanding. This is just fucking top tier. Like Dave, clip this for fucking Instagram. Right?
Top quality content.
Sure.
Oh,
But yes.
We digress.
So to finish up, looking forward to next season. Okay, the Labs are now going to be contending in the Premiership, Southern Division, and we've got the Panthers who are going for the three-peat, for back-to-back. With the addition of flag to the Olympics, like, what do you two see as the future of flag football in the next 12 months over here?
It's definitely growth of the game. I know, like we have a women's team, like sole flag women's team that we are heavily recruiting for, heavily pushing hard. We're still training every weekend. You know, it's definitely like getting more people involved. Like there's a lot of women who don't want to be playing with mixed in any shape or form. But the objective is that this women's team will also play in Division 1 next year. So we'll have a Division 1 women's only team. And again, they will be facing mixed teams. But I think it's just kind of growth from that regard. And it's kind of, if you just start at a point, you know, other teams or other people will follow from that regard as well. And it's the only way. Like at this moment in time, like if we were to hypothetically get to the Olympics, just like we did in the European Championships, with no disrespect to guys, we're going to get slapped. So we do still need to grow so much. And again, it's about teams and players going abroad. Like all like Eagles, ourselves, and Cowboys. You know, the last how many winners for how many years we've all gone abroad. You know, you can clearly see that. You know, there's a definite data correlation there. You know, so again, it's about going abroad, learning from other teams, and picking up stuff. And again, it's just about kind of getting the players better. And again, what is it, 2028? So we're talking 5 years away. It's about getting the younger core players. You know what I mean? Like
fuck them,
Peter
fuck
Lock.
the young core, old boys, 40 years old, rocking up in LA.
Football.
It's like players like Rob, like Peter Lochran. We can all agree is a phenomenal flag quarterback. Like odds are potentially he's not going to be around starting quarterback in 5 years' time. So it's like players like Rob, you know, trying to get them, I don't say grown up, but like more matured in the game, going against.
I don't know his name.
It's
huge lad.
But it's things like that. It's kind of developing the players we have, but also trying to get players in too. And again, like the Olympic announcement has changed, has definitely changed kind of people's perspective on flag.
Like I definitely think now, maybe I'll be offending some people here, that flag football is probably the future of football. If it was I had to make a call, and I don't even mean just in Ireland. I think in the whole world. I think that you're going to see a lot of like states in America limit like even high school football in terms of like head injuries and stuff, and that it's going to all go towards flag. And you know, getting the Olympics, the Olympic thing, it's really given a lot of legitimacy to it. You know, there's going to be apparently NFL players playing for the US in the Olympics. You know, so I really think that you know, in 10, 15 years time, it'll be the main form of football in Ireland, is what I think.
Yeah, and definitely at the very least the main gateway feeder into the sport as well, because it is so accessible.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, bar a handful of current sort of younger flag players, a lot of the old hands, at this point, you guys are basically setting the foundation for the future of an Olympic sport in the country. They're extremely exciting times, and this is the sport that I say we, excluding myself and Dave.
Yeah.
And me, don't include me.
Owen, you're an ambassador for flag football.
Okay.
That it is just extremely exciting and important time. As I said, it's going to be the future of the sport, that we get to lead this next generation. In 5 years' time, you're going to be sitting there in a pub somewhere or at home, because clearly it's going to be red button second screen is going to be flag football in the Olympics. Watching there, being like, I helped do that, which is crazy. That's fucking
Watching.
mental.
Belarus.
Hopefully cheering on some of our teammates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And particularly
Or-
like sorry, don't
Okay.
get that, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, or just like demanding to be like an auxiliary coach so you can go and get your Olympics tattoo in your bicep like everyone else.
From being around for years playing flag, like how it's completely changed even before the Olympics announcement is insane, and it's like even like podcasts like this, it does put legitimacy on the sport. In Ireland, flag is looked very down upon, particularly by very contact heavy teams. Tides are turning, having contact teams more involved, like Rebels, Trojans, Panthers. There is, the more, again, to use the word legitimacy, the more legitimacy we can give it, the better it is. It's a phenomenal sport to get involved in. Like it's so easy, it's cheap, it's fun. You know what I mean? It is definitely the future.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's, as I said, exciting times. But speaking of time, that's all the time we have for tonight.
Oh, like it.
Yeah, getting
Like
better
that,
at these
love you.
segues.
Just a bit
Yeah,
confused because
we will be back in a few weeks for post AGM roundup,
Yeah,
maybe,
possibly. Probably not.
Are you not like going to do like a live AGM commentary? You know, like at the
Live stream
draft,
AGM.
where they,
Oh no,
they do how, like they're
Like
talking about
WWE.
how, like, how many members of the player's family have died. You can do that for the AGM.
No, we will not be in attendance at the AGM, because
Ooh.
myself and Dave are going to meet the Pittsburgh Steelers the following day.
Yes, the entire
How the fuck
Pittsburgh
did you pull that one?
Steelers team are flying from Pittsburgh to Dublin during the match. They're not
Yes.
even going to play the Browns.
No, myself and Dave are going to a Steelers watch party, and it'd be just taking the piss to disappear for the entire weekend. Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, we got to say it.
But yeah, go to the AGM. Wage your vote.
And go to the awards. Buy your awards night ticket.
Buy your awards tickets, for the love of God. Like, I ran the numbers, Irish ambassador to flag football, Chris McGee ran the numbers. And yeah, like, it's the league ain't making any money off it. It's €60. Everything's expensive now. I get it. It's the mouth of Christmas, but go network with other teams, have drinks with other teams, other players, celebrate inductees in the Hall of Fame and the award winners. One thing I would say, and Dave and Owen, you're in this group chat as well, which is the GreenZone Fantasy Football chat, where we have players from all divisions, from all teams, across the country. People that actually, when I read the messages, probably shouldn't be in a conversation together. But in any other circumstance, wouldn't be in a conversation together. And it's about 1% chat about the fantasy league, and mostly about the chats going on, what's going on in the
I
league.
usually forget that we're in a fantasy league.
Oh yeah, but it's all chat about what the teams are doing, what's going on in the league, what's people's perceptions of it, and everyone kind of really gets on. And it's really interesting to see other teams' mindsets on things, other players' mindsets. So yeah, go and chat to these people. It's amazing how dead on everyone is when we're not in pads trying to kill each other or tags trying to kill each other.
Go out Sean McVay what his favorite shade of blue is.
Oh, he has that RAL code. Yes. And I think to summarize this episode,
Yeah.
Wait, is that our comment? I hope it is. Oh no, there's a couple. Sorry. Oh, it's Ruben.
Is
yeah,
Ruben in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, Wolves graphics. Hang on, I need to remind myself what they look like. I'm always happy to
What was
give
this? Is this for best
graphics
socials?
together.
yeah.
Uh,
Listen,
they'll
we'll
second.
come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Hold on.
I don't know what he said there.
Owen,
Oh, do you
You've
know what?
6
To be fair,
seconds.
they are quite
show us
Cut me
the
off mid-sentence, man.
what's it?
Was that going to focus? They are quite nice. I appreciate the Wolves graphics. Yeah, you're going to have to bring them up on the screen for people to see. Go follow the Wolves on Instagram. Why is my camera gone orange? Who knows? Go follow the Wolves on Instagram and see their lovely graphics. And just, comment about how much you love Ruben's commentary, because he's great.
Yeah, he is great.
Yep.
So yeah, that's us for Flag for this season. We'll be back with a preview going into the start of next season, where we have two new teams already confirmed. So we have one in the north and one in the south.
Yes, we have the Lakeland Gators, I believe, up north.
And the Dunboyne people.
Wildcats.
I think we have the Cork Titans as well, really.
We have what?
There is a second Cork team coming as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And still not the Admirals. I don't know why they won't play flag. I hope they start playing flag. I'd love to see the Admirals play flag. Because I just want to see the Panthers beat the Admirals, because I've been beaten by the Admirals so many times. Flag might be my only chance to see us beat the Admirals. So yeah, Admirals, set up a flag team, please, and play us in a friendly.
And then take your flag team away afterwards. It's just Owen just wants one game.
Yeah, I just need one game. Please.
Actually, we'll rename the GreenZone charity team just for a day to the Cork Athletes.
I'm on the GreenZone charity team.
And you'll get to play against the Admirals.
Yeah.
And for them.
Yeah. But
It's a
Joe, Rob, thanks very much for taking the time to come on this evening. Congratulations again on your respective bowls.
Sound.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to seeing the two of you at finals next season.
We'll see.
No one's taking it. Only Rob's kind of taking the bait on that one.
Well, Rob said he was going to win the whole thing earlier. So
Oh, I said we'll see about the Panthers. We'll see if the Panthers make the playoffs.
But as always, I've been Chris. He's been Dave. He's been Owen. We've all been GreenZone. And we'll see you in a few weeks.
Cheers, guys.
You hope.
Sound lads.